I love the settlements in Medieval 2 Total War, from their historical background to their positioning. The game works great as it is. But still, if I was allowed to add a few more settlements into the game, here are the ones I would go for. Athens, the capital of modern Greece, was a very wealthy Byzantine city during this time. Of course, nothing compared to Thessalonica or Constantinople, but it still held enough power to deserve a spot on this list. The settlement grew rapidly, becoming a highly valuable trading settlement, producing dyes, soaps, and art. Now, one major issue with Athens would be its positioning. It's near Corinth. However, Corinth here works to its advantage, because without Athens, Corinth is defending nothing and seems like it's in an odd location as a castle. But with Athens, then Corinth suddenly has a great purpose, as it's there to defend the more valuable Athens. And it will also reflect the wealth of Greece much better. That's a line you don't hear often. In fourth, I added Belgrade. First of all, Belgrade was a very heavily demanded one in the Rome Total War episode, and I have always had an oddly high view count coming from Serbia. So Serbians, this one's for you. But in all seriousness, it was a major settlement during the Middle Ages and was a frequent battleground for the Byzantine and Hungarian soldiers, and then again later with the arrival of the Ottomans. Sofia is one of the most interesting settlements in the game, and the most vital to control, if you wish to assert your Balkan power, due to its positioning as a simply good castle. Adding Belgrade nearby would just add to this region a load more, a region that is often overlooked in Total War. In addition to that, look at its position on the map. There's a clear massive gap here where the settlement would fit nicely, so I think it could work as a starting rebel settlement. Third, and I went for Kalmar, a very large fortified city during medieval times, with a castle at its centre. It was so important that the personal union of Denmark, Norway and Sweden was named after it, the Kalmar Union. I know the devs wanted a Viking feel with Denmark, but this was not the case. By this point, and especially later into the campaign, Denmark had moved far away from their old Viking days and had settled into the Catholic feudalist lifestyle, like the rest of Europe, almost. Having an extra valuable settlement in Sweden would convince the player more to pull back and secure Scandinavia first, before going out and raiding northern Germany. What Total War often does to show development is they add a lot of settlements tightly into one region. But to show lack of development, they have less settlements in larger territories. We see this in many Total War titles, and in Paradox games, and many more. And this is why I feel Sweden needs one more settlement to the south, to make it appear as economically developed as it was. Kalmar would fit this perfectly. Now that I think about it, all Total War games either cut out Sweden or underdevelop Sweden. Imagine if after all this time, that was just the Creative Assembly taking a small jab at the Paradox team. I would love that to be true. One honourable mention now, and I have gone with the Moorish city of Fez. And another one I would like to see is Palma. Palma appeared in Rome Total War and was a settlement on the Balearic Islands. It's not that important. The city of course has its history, but it's not vital compared to the others. Overall, I just liked it in Rome, and it's sad to see that it got cut. Also, it helps my OCD a little bit if every island has its own settlement. Back to the list. I could not decide on second place. I was struggling between either Mecca or Medina, and I'm stuck. Now, Mecca is of course the largest city historically, so that will make far more sense. However, the game has Jeddah, and I cannot remove a settlement, so the two would be very close. Although this will represent the development of the region, they may be a little too close, and this could appear oddly in-game. Or I could have Medina. Still a major settlement historically, but not as much as Mecca. On the other hand, it would fit better in-game, as it is further to the north, and would not make this region too tight with all the settlements. I don't know which to go for, but what I will say is either of them could easily hold second place on this list. Why they chose Jeddah over both of them, I will never know. It is the modern main commercial centre of Saudi Arabia, but was not during medieval times. And now for number 1, first place, and this one is mostly gameplay focused, but mostly because I would love to see it so much. Either Soncurious Castle or Canosa Castle, does not matter which one, but one of them. What I am referring to is a castle in northern Italy that divides Milan and Venice. These two factions are constantly warring with one another, yet in my version there will be a castle placed in the middle, separating them both. Whoever owns the castle will of course have a huge defensive and offensive advantage, and will easily be able to assert dominance over the rest of Italy. Yet, this would be risky to take, as I imagine it with a large garrison. This, I think, would be a great way to play mind games, especially with hot seats, against other human players. Do you waste your troops trying to take that advantage or not? It will be a tough siege to fight, and you do not want to have to fight it, weaken it, but lose, and then have your enemy just walk in and take it for free. You also cannot wait too long, as eventually the AI will take it and claim that advantage for themselves. Most of these are historically focused, but this one is 100% gameplay. I know it will be controversial, but I stand by it. Anyway, this has been my list. Feel free to disagree and share your own opinions down below, and then I will explain to you why you are wrong and stupid. Subscribe for more. Top 5s every Monday and Thursday. I've been MELKOR, hope to see you in tomorrow's video, where we will be continuing on with part 2 of the AI only campaign. Make sure you have seen part 1. But for now, hope you enjoyed, hope you learnt something, and goodbye.